Bernie Moreno just asked DHS Secretary Kristi Noem directly about the real conditions that faced our Border Patrol agents, and her response shows exactly how Biden's policies left our agents demoralized and unable to effectively protect the border. Secretary Noem doesn't hold back, giving a very clear picture of how the new leadership is turning things around. Stick around, because up next, Senator Rick Scott asks Secretary Noem the critical question that we all want to know. Is our border secure under President Trump's administration? And trust me, you don't want to miss this. This is Andy with TrendingPolitics.com. Hit like, subscribe, and let's jump in.
Senator Moreno.
Thank you again, Secretary. So following up on the themes that were just brought up, it seems to me that the most common sense answer and the least expensive way to house criminal aliens in the country is to not allow them to come here in the first place. Right? So it's whether it's $160 a day, $100,000 a day, it should be zero per day. And I hope that my Democrat colleagues, let's just codify what President Trump has done and prevent criminal aliens or anybody from entering this country illegally. That seems like the most fiscally conservative thing. So I hope when you're talking about these questions to the Secretary that we just say, let's just stop allowing people to come into the country illegally. By the way, that doesn't mean we don't want people to come here legally. That's the hypocrisy I just don't understand. When you're decrying the cost of housing criminal aliens, but you turned a blind eye when we had 10 million people come into this country illegally. Shifting gears real quick, you were a governor. Would it surprise you to learn that you're rated one of the top 5 most fiscally conservative, frugal governors in America last year?
No, it wouldn't surprise me. I worked hard at making sure we were accountable to our taxpayers.
So you are going to commit, and I think it'd be obvious, that when you are appropriated money through the reconciliation process to help you do what you need to do, that you're going to be as fiscally prudent with that money, correct?
That is correct.
All right, so let's talk about what they need. Certainly there's a wall, but wall by itself, to Senator Peters' point, doesn't accomplish the mission. There's all kinds of advanced technology. I was visiting Anduril. They have some incredible technology for detection that makes the Border Patrol agents' lives. You're looking at technology like that, right?
Oh, absolutely. That's one of the discussions that we've had quite often with members of Congress and in these committee hearings, is just the wall will look very different based on where it is. Plus, the wall was never finished, even where you have a steel bollard wall. Many times they erected the steel bollard wall, but didn't build out the technology to support it and to keep individuals from throwing ladders and ropes over them. There's a whole system that was designed to operate together. And even when the wall was built, President Trump was never given the opportunity to complete the system that would actually secure it much better than just simple infrastructure.
Sure. So physical barrier, tunnel detections.
Yes.
Technology,
surveillance.
and some of these technologies can determine the difference between an animal and a human, can direct Border Patrol agents safely, let them know what they expect when they're there. So those are all the technologies. Let's talk about another part of what I would call the wall, which is the human element. How was the morale of the Border Patrol agents when you got there? When you took over day one and you visited them, kind of describe briefly what that was like.
Well, they were very discouraged. If you remember, many of us
I think you're being kind with discouraged.
They were not allowed to do their jobs. They hired on to Border Patrol and ICE. I would say it's the same story, to do a job, and they weren't allowed to do that by the last administration. So now they're.
So there's recruitment challenges.
Oh, there was, but not anymore. I mean, Border Patrol has a dramatic increase.
We have to make sure we pay them properly.
That's correct.
So that's part of the money, right, that we have raises for them. Near and dear to my heart is the automobiles that they use there. Describe the insanity of the kinds of vehicles that Biden and Mayorkas was giving. These are the most rugged terrains in America, boulders and rocks and hills. And they were sending F-150s out there with 17-inch wheels. And how many of the fleet was down just because of total and complete inability to accomplish the mission?
At times, it was upwards to 30 to 40% of the fleet just was unusable, not able to be maintained. Times the percentage would increase based on the conditions to which they were deployed as well.
Bernie Moreno highlighted the real challenges faced by Border Patrol agents under Joe Biden, but now Rick Scott goes straight to the heart of the issue. He's going to ask Secretary Noem directly, is our border finally safe under the Trump administration? Take a look.
Secretary Mayorkas testified repeatedly before this committee and lied to my face, saying that our border was secure. Clearly, it was not. Worse, the Biden administration dismantled every process and system we had in place to secure the border and allowed millions of illegal aliens, including hundreds of known terrorists, to come into our country unchecked and unvetted, wreaking havoc and bringing drugs. They were welcomed into our country by Mayorkas and the Biden administration. Secretary Noem, you've been working for months to fix the mess your predecessor left behind. Is the border secure?
Yes, it is.
Besides additional resources, which you clearly need, what legislative fixes do you need from Congress to maintain a secure border?
Well, Senator, thank you for the question. This border is the most secure border that we've ever had in the history of the United States of America. But what we need to do is address the areas that are still vulnerable. And those areas require technology, wall infrastructure, more individuals at times. We need surveillance equipment, camera equipment to be fixed. Only 1 out of 3 CBP cameras are really functional right now. So the reconciliation package is incredibly important for us to have the resources we need at the border, but also to make sure that CBP can continue to do their work that they do of our ports of entry, assessing tariffs and collecting duties, all of that. But beyond that, reconciliation has needed assets for other areas of our national security portfolio. The fact of the matter is the Department of Homeland Security is one of the largest agencies with one of the smallest budgets. And the task that we have taken on is gotten more and more complicated all the time as things move online, cybersecurity, bad actors get more sophisticated. And now we've let these dangerous terrorists and cartel members into our country, in the interior of our country, that threaten the American public. They need to be removed and taken out, and we're fighting a court system at times as well. So that reconciliation package makes sure that we're able to do due diligence on the work that we do and really assure the American people that we're on watch for them. Beyond that, Remain in Mexico policy to be codified would be incredibly important to make sure we have stability in that policy going forward. Some clarity and credible fear would be wonderful to have if this body would choose to tackle that. That would help us not have to deal consistently with court challenges and tie us up fighting that battle when we really should be addressing security concerns.
It's crystal clear why real leadership matters. Secretary Noem and President Trump stepped in to reverse the damage, the real damage done by the Biden administration, giving the Border Patrol agents the resources, support, and the respect that they deserve. And the results speak for themselves: a secure border and safer communities. But we can't let our guard down. It's critical to keep leaders who prioritize America's security in office. And if you agree, hit like, subscribe, and share this video to spread the truth. Thanks for watching. This is Andy with TrendingPolitics.com. Stay informed, like, subscribe, and share this video, and we'll catch you in the next one.